when all we had was energy healing. You needed visualization and positive thinking. It's not necessary any longer. It becomes something that slows us down. It's good for people who still want to be there. But we have and are able to evolve beyond that today. And that's part of the purpose, that we are able to evolve beyond that today. In other words, when Reconnective Healing started, my patients were coming in to see a chiropractor, and I thought I was one. You can't double blind a study better than that. There was no hope, no faith, no belief, no positive thinking, no hypnosis, no mind over matter, no neuro-linguistic programming, no tap, 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 no trying to anchor in or reinforce, because it's not needed. Later on, when people started coming in from halfway around the world, they would often be dragged there by a well-meaning friend or a husband or wife, somebody, and they'd sit in front of me and they'd say, I don't believe in this. I think it's a bunch of garbage. And I said, well, you know what? You're already here. You flew here from wherever you lived. You took time off from work. You took a hotel room. I said, why don't you say to yourself, maybe you're right. Maybe it's garbage, and maybe it isn't. But whatever it is, it's a rare opportunity to lie down in the middle of the day and rest your eyes for half an hour, so take it. And these people would have the healings. If anyone didn't have a healing, it wasn't the person who didn't believe in it. It was the person who believed in it too much. The person who came in saying, I know this works, it has to work. I've read every book ever written on healing. I sleep with the books under my pillow. I only walk in clockwise circles from full moon to full moon. All that attachment, the limitation. I'm protecting myself, and I'm wearing the special necklaces to protect me from the electromagnetic frequencies and entities in the subway. All those fear-based approaches and need and attachment becomes the limitation.
There's a lot of fear in people, eh?
In the healing world, it's reinforced. It's reinforced. That's what gets them to buy all these needless products, the necklaces to protect them, and wear the color rings, and here's something with a coil that's supposed to bring energies in from Atlantis or Lemuria or, you know, the Pleiades or something. We have to get past that. We have to step out of fear, lack, and limitation consciousness and into love, prosperity, oneness, light, love, unity. Because healing resides over here. It does not reside in fear, lack, and limitation. And we cannot give a gift that we don't allow ourselves to receive and own. We can't stand in fear, protecting ourselves and shaking off negative energy and spraying things away and pretending to zip ourselves up after a healing session for fear that a negative entity will get in, or that, well, we have one person who's actually teaching, zip yourself up to protect yourself from a negative energy, and so that you don't gain weight from being a healing facilitator. I've never heard anything more outrageous in my life. Zip yourself up so you don't gain weight. And people are actually paying money, real money, to be fed these fear-based lies and have them intrinsically bring that person into a state of fear. You'll never, ever, if you're afraid of gaining weight or having entities, you'll never, while you're standing in fear, be able to truly facilitate healings that are based on love. Now, when, you know, it took me a while, really it did, to agree to teach Reconnective Healing, because I thought, how can you teach this? It's just something that's happening to me. But when we found that people really were able to access this once they interact with it, we've now recognized that everyone, you can learn how to facilitate any level of healing that I can, and any level of healing that any human being can, really within 1 weekend, not 6 years, not needing advanced course. You don't need DNA 1 and DNA 2 and advanced DNA, and you don't need how to walk this way or that way. You don't need any special piece of jewelry, nothing. Well, here's what happens. So for instance, when I'm back here in Amsterdam in November, the way I'll be teaching is the same way we taught last weekend. There'll be a 3-hour presentation on Friday night. On that Friday night, we're going to talk about the history of the work, the theory of the work, the science behind the work, the philosophy and understanding how this works. We're going to give everyone an opportunity to feel this in your hands, just like you did.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to bring up volunteers from the audience to do live demonstrations of the healing, such as the child with cerebral palsy or the person with their fingers. Now, Saturday and Sunday, that's a different story. And by the way, with healing demonstrations, with anything, just like with any good ethical medical doctor, we have to understand we can't make any promises or guarantees.
Mm-hmm.
Your medical doctor can't make any, and healing practitioners also the same. Can't make any. We don't know what form your healing will take. It will come the way you're expecting. It will come in another form. And we need to be honest about that. We don't know. 3 people can come in with the same diagnosis, the same set of symptoms, and receive 3 different sets of results according to what's most appropriate for that person on their life course. But we, of course, and we bring up volunteers from the audience so we can demonstrate the healings and so you can see them.
Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday is a working seminar. And I'm saying right now, do not come to that seminar if you think we're all going to sit around, hold hands, and sing Kumbaya, my Lord, because it's not going to happen. This really is my personality. I don't get any prettier. This is it. It's a focused seminar.
Okay.
There's a stage in the center of the room. There are chairs on one side, massage tables on the other. I demonstrate a level of the healings from the center of the room. We talk from the stage. We talk about what it is. We go to the massage tables in groups of either 2 or 4. And I walk around to each of the tables, and so do our teaching assistants who have flown in from around the world. And we might work with you, might take your hand and say, now hold it like this. Open it a little more strongly. Good. Now just begin to feel the air right here. Now look at the person lying down on the table, and you'll start to see their foot move like this. Say, good. Now just tune that sense in here. Let's glide and look for something else. Oh, there it is. See how their eyes start to move like that? Now, good. Feel that sense. Good. Tune it in. Now, as if it's attached there, start to pull it back. And now you'll see their fingers and their feet moving, and their eyes go differently. And when you start to correlate that when you're here, this is happening, and when you're here, this is happening, you begin to simply recognize it. Then we go back to our seats. We talk about what we just learned and experienced. We demonstrate the next level. We go back to the tables. It's a working seminar, table work, philosophy, table work, philosophy, science, table work, philosophy. And by the end of the weekend, I can pretty much make you 2 promises. A, you'll be able to facilitate any and every level of healing that I can. The end of 1 weekend, not 3 years, not 3 weeks, 1 weekend, because it's simply getting it. As long as you're willing to transcend your energy healing techniques. B, second promise that I'm pretty comfortable making. Pretty sure. No guarantees, pretty sure. So far, this is what I've seen. You'll be able to facilitate any level of healing that any human being on this entire planet can access, whether they change their last name to be of God and work in a church in Brazil, or whether they were raised by monks in a cave at a mountaintop in Tibet and fed grains of seed, each one flown in on the beak of an individual bird. In other words, it does not matter what story is created about it, whether supposedly it's a woman wandering lost for years in the forest of Russia or any other story we create. The fact is, no one will be able to do more than you can do, and you will be able to do once you learn how to access this, and as long as you are willing to stay completely transcendent of your energy healing techniques.
Yeah.
People say to me, I can go to the website, it's the same as the book title, The Reconnection, it's thereconnection.com, and there's a directory of practitioners. These are people who would like to put their name out and say, they've attended the seminars and who do the work. And people say to me, how can I select the best practitioner? How can I select someone who can bring this through the fullest?